Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna,
Please,
Dandatam,
please accept my humble obeisance at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna. So today, who is going to do the kirtan?
Mataji, Hare Krishna, you take a, host from my side.
Mangalacharan.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you have to claim host. From me, you can claim
Okay.
host.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do it, Prabhuji. How do I claim it? You can set it to me directly, right?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Hare Krishna, Sindhu Mataji. Mataji, last time you did the kirtan, right? Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Okay, so this time someone else would like to take a lead. Uma Devi Mataji, Kripamai Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yes, sure, Mataji. We can have a
Thank
short Mangalacharan. Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Short Mangalacharan also.
As in, no, sorry,
Only
Jai Radha
Kirtan.
Madhav. Jai Radha Madhav. And then Hare Krishna Mantra. Yes.
Okay. 1 second, Mataji.
Sure. Mataji, you are about to start?
Yes, Mataji, yes. 1 second.
Yes.
I start it.
Sure.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yeshodanandana Brajarajanjana Yeshodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev.
Haribol, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mataji. It was very, very lovely. Haribol.
Thank you.
वाञ्छा
Hare Krishna.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining. I welcome you all to this Saturday class. Every Saturday we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, and a very happy Krishna conscious Vijay Dashmi to all of you who all are celebrating today. In Vaishnav calendar it is tomorrow, I guess. So today or tomorrow, but I wish you all a very happy Krishna conscious Vijay Dashmi. Today is a very auspicious day. Today is a very auspicious day. Also, there is a benediction I heard in a class that if we start something today, a spiritual vow or determination, if we take on today's day, uh, there is a benediction that by Lord's grace it would go long. Like, of course, from our side also there should be a commitment, but if we are sincere, then it can also last always. So, if you have any spiritual vow which you want to take from long, and if you have not been able to take since now till now, you can think of you can think of starting something. It can be very simple. It can be very just something very simple, like every day when you're waking up, remembering acharyas, remembering Krishna, thanking. So it is very simple, but sometimes due to our everyday course and we forget, we just wake up and we start running. So that's just one example. So anything else also you can think of, which would be beneficial for your spiritual progress, and that vow you can take. By the mercy of Lord Ram, may we all also become victorious in remembering the Lord. Haribol. So last class, I was unfortunately not able to attend because of other things, and I heard that Kavita Mataji gave a very beautiful, wonderful class last time. So, anyone would like to just give a short brief on what was discussed? Anyone? Rohini Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, if no one else is, then I'll go ahead. Otherwise, if there's anyone else who wants to say.
So one thing I would like to share, I was just attending one class recently, and that Prabhuji, he is a senior devotee. He was saying this, that in generally when we are attending classes, it is a good practice if we all have a video on, because video off generally means you're not attending class, you're doing something else. And what he was saying is, I'm just repeating his words. I'm not saying something of my own. What he was saying is that generally people have this idea, they start attending classes and for 2 3 years they attend, and then they say that, oh, we are hearing since 3 years, now we want initiation. So he was saying that you will also get initiation online with video off with no mantra, no beads. So in that way he was just stressing the point of why it is important for personal interaction, and also for better grasp of the class, we should at least sit with video and have some notes. So, Rohini Mataji, Saurabh Prabhuji, Jigisha Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, I've seen you all always attending. Um, so yes, thank you all. And just on sharing on the notes that you would have taken for the last class, I always ask Rohini Mataji, but if anyone else want to give, then they are welcome. So yes, who would like to go? Saurabh Prabhuji, would you like to try?
Mataji, I did not remember last one.
Acha, okay, no problem, Prabhuji. Okay, Rohini Mataji, in the interest of time, you can give the brief and then we can start.
Kavita Mataji did shloka number 2.38 in that she specified, why Arjuna should fight. And she emphasized that he has to fight only for the desire of Krishna because Krishna desires. She gave an example of judge, that when a judge gives a judgment to a criminal, whatever criminal, it's not sin. But if he resists from giving him a judgment under the pretext that I'm related to him, then it becomes a sin. So, with this example, she tried to draw parallel to what is sin and why doing the duty is not sin. And because Krishna is saying he has to do. Then Mataji also spoke about the five people we are indebted to, which was mentioned in the purport. And then she also drove home the point that, because people in Krishna consciousness, how they are not indebted to these five people. um, I have written, but in interest of time, it's there in the purport. Then in 239, she explained what is Sankhya Yoga, and she explained why Arjuna's decision to not fight is also self gratification. So she explained that point very much in detail, and also said what is Buddhi Yoga, and she gave a very nice example of a mother and child to to draw a parallel to why Lord created this universe. Like a mother, if a child wants to play with the kitchen, but the mother wants to give the original kitchen toy, so she would give original kitchen items. She would give the toy. Finally, when the child is fed up, the child will say, no, I don't want to play with this toy. So with that, she drew a parallel that this is why Lord created the universe, and which was like which was very nice as mother can relate it to. So that stuck with me. And 2.40, she said that you will start it. So she just touched upon it. Like, she gave the example of the squirrel in Ramayana, that we all are doing what is in our capacity, but we should do it sincerely. So 2.40, she didn't go much in detail. That's all she touched upon it. As she said, you will start from 2.40. That's all. Is Kavita Mataji on call today?
Not, I can see, I do not see her now.
Yeah.
Probably she would join in sometime. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that
but
was.
whatever she
Mhm.
said was, if I've missed something, it doesn't point her side, okay? Because she did a very
Yes, yes, of course.
sincerely she did it. So if I've missed something, it's just my mistake.
Yes, and in fact, I missed the class and I thought that there would be recording, but it was not there, so it was my loss actually.
Yeah,
But
Mataji.
yes,
Even I missed it. I just attended. I could attend only for 10 minutes. I
yes,
had a satsang thing, so I couldn't.
yeah, yes. So, but thank you, Rohini Mataji. You gave a nice brief on what was covered, and I could relate to based on what is written in the purport as well. So today we have to start from 2.40, one of the most important shlokas, most important, one of the most important. This was one of the initial shlokas I tried to remember as well in Bhagavad Gita, and it gives very a good hope to each and every one of us who is trying to follow in the path of bhakti yoga, in this path of understanding Krishna and serving him. So what this particular verse is, that we will go in detail now. And so initially, if I just give you a brief what has happened till now in chapter 2, um, Arjun was giving reasons of why he should not be fighting war in the initial 10 verses. And later he just got frustrated. He was so confused of what he should do and what he should not do. So he finally surrendered to a higher spiritual authority who is Krishna, which also gives us 2.11, which is very important, which tells that why we should actually surrender to to the a spiritual authority so that we understand about the Lord. So after this, from 11 to 30 comes the Sankhya Yoga, wherein Krishna gave the details of the soul, how it is eternal, the characteristics of the soul, and many other things, right? So in that way, this Sankhya Yoga was covered from 11 to 30, and it basically focuses on the identity of the soul. And if you actually understand this particular section very nicely, this Sankhya Yoga, you actually become peaceful. Now someone would say, how can we become peaceful? Is Because if you're understanding the eternality of the soul, you would see that everything else around you, everything is destroying at every moment, right? The only thing that is not destroying is your soul, you yourself, right? When you are identifying yourself as soul, not this body, then when you understand that okay, everything is destroying except me, I am eternal, and I am the eternal fragmental part of Krishna, right? So Jivera Swarupoi Krishnera Nitya Das, eternal servant. So this brings in peace. This brings in by default satisfaction, because you are not fearful, you are not afraid of the consequences, because you're not this body, right? So this was an important section, wherein also Krishna refuted Arjuna's first argument. The first argument was that he did not wanted to kill the people, because he was thinking that they are my relatives, and if I how can I kill them, right? So that was the first argument which was defeated. The second argument was defeated in this Sakam Karma section, from 31 to 37. Anyone remembers what was the second argument? Now, this is very important, because every class I will be asking. Every class I will be asking the five reasons of Arjuna. And you must remember it. You must remember it. This is something which you have to take it as a homework, that all the five arguments you should remember in the right order, because unless you remember that, right, you will not see how beautifully Krishna is answering those questions. So the question should be remembered to understand the answer, right? So yes, the second
Mataji,
argument, yes, Jigisha Mataji.
so it is enjoyment, no enjoyment in victory.
Right. That is enjoyment. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, this enjoyment propensity, Arjun is saying that how I would be able to enjoy if all my family members are destroyed. So, this enjoyment is being defeated by Krishna by saying that you have to perform your duties, and when you perform your duty, you will get enjoyment. Otherwise, if you're not doing your duties, if you just want to enjoy, then you are incurring sin. And the third argument, yes. Now, who remembers the third argument? Mm-hmm. It's very simple. If someone can just go through the screen, also they would be able to get it. Yes, Saurabh
Sinful
Prabhuji.
reaction.
Mataji, that sinful reaction basically.
Yes. So
Yes.
sinful reaction. What Arjun was thinking is that if I am killing them, I would be tainted with blood, right? I would be getting the sins of killing these people. So he was actually talking about the results that he's going to get by killing, right? So how do we have to understand this particular section? For that, Krishna is giving this Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is called Buddhi Yoga. So, this is one of the most important sections of Bhagavad Gita. It is very, very powerful section. Almost all practical issues that we face in our life, most of them you can understand if you understand this section properly. And we will also try to discuss as much as possible on the practical sides as well. And if you also have any questions, you can let me know, so that there is nothing which is missed. So now let us understand first of all what is happening. Arjuna is thinking that if I kill them, right? If I kill them, I'll incur sins. So what is the opposite of it, which Arjuna is thinking? That if I do not kill them, if I do not fight, then there is no sin, right? If I fight, there is sin. If I do not fight, then there is no sin. So better to not fight. Better to not do any action is what Arjuna is saying. So if there are no actions, there is no sin. But this this particular philosophy of no action, this is totally wrong, is what Krishna is trying to explain here. Okay, now this fearfulness of the reaction of what we Arjuna is again and again saying as sin, that is been taught of how it is not acting on him by Krishna in this section 38 to 53. And for that, we have to understand what is yoga ladder. Okay, so I'll just give you a very short introduction of what it is. it takes a lot of time to make anyone understand yoga ladder if we are going into the depth of each and every stage. But at this point of time, I'll just cover some portion, because this portion again will come before we start the third chapter. So now I will just explain you the first simple things. So now what happens in a general human race? Okay, the stage which is basically this one you can see as animal life. Animal life is where we are not following any rules and regulations of the Vedas, right? We are not performing any duties, we are not performing any activity which is given in the Vedas, thinking that this is the only life I am here to enjoy, and all those modern concepts I do not need to repeat them, right? We are very well aware of modern education has very well given that in our heads since our birth, and also movies and everything else, right? So animalistic life is the life where there are no rules, right? Living as you want, sleeping, eating, mating as you want, without any rules and regulations, without any dharma. So here this is animal life, where if you are definitely going towards hell. Now when a person comes into this karma kanda stage, karma kand stage comes wherein a person is trying to follow the Vedic principles, but he's also having a lot of material desires. So for example, if someone says that I want to I want to do this particular puja because I want to get such and such result, I want to become prosperous, I want this endeavor to become successful, or any other thing, like there are so many different types of puja to get more money, to get better family life. So, or there are so many types of things that karma kandis do in order to satisfy their material aspirations. So now material aspirations are there, but then they are also coming to the shelter of scriptures wherein they are trying to follow them, and they are trying to follow the rules and regulations, but they do not have any concept of, okay, that there is a God and I am his eternal servant and I want to serve him. Nothing like that. It's just out of duty or such. Okay. And most of many people come into this particular section who all belong to a cultural background. They are into puja part and all, but there is no concept of having a good relation with the Lord. It's even the relation with the Lord is only for asking things. It's not as a reciprocation. Now when we are trying to accept a transcendental goal, and we want to move ahead from um, following the scriptures just to satisfy our own desires, to satisfying the desire of the Lord, right? So there are two, not exactly the Lord, but you are trying to move ahead the ladder. So what happens in karma yoga is there is more knowledge, and you are trying to follow either of the two yogas. One is sakam karma yoga and the other is nishkam karma yoga. So everyone is with me till now. Everyone is able to understand karma yoga. Okay. So when we are trying to, the sakam karma yoga is when people are wanting to do something, but they want something in return. Like for example, there was a Mataji. This is not my personal experience. I've heard it from another devotee. So he was mentioning that there was a Mataji and she was in the temple, and some brahmachari asked her that if she can go to the kitchen for kitchen seva. So there was some vegetable cutting seva which was there. So she said, "Do you know how much money do I donate in this temple every month? So because of me, the everyday archana worship is happening of the Lord." So now what is happening here? That devotee wants to serve the Lord by giving the results, but she's also attached to her own thing, right? She doesn't want to fully give. Like for example, when we actually want to please Krishna, it's not just by giving result. It's not just by that. We also want to actively participate in our activities to serve Krishna. So that the seva portion there, then our ego comes in, right? So that is sakam karma. That you want to satisfy the Lord, but you are also attached to the result of it. Okay. And then there are another example can be when people are giving something, they also want recognition, right? We have seen There are people who would do some seva, but then they want their name to come in. Okay, this person has sponsored 10 Bhagavad Gita. Okay, this person has sponsored today's Prashadam. So this type of recognition is wanted. So what is happening here is they want to serve. They want to serve, but then they are also attached to the results of it. This is Sakam Karma Yoga. But this is still fine because it is better than Karma Kand, and it is also, of course, better than animalistic life. The next comes Nishkam Karma Yoga. Now, Nishkam Karma Yoga is one of the most important thing for a devotee to understand, because this is what we want to follow every day, day in and day out. And based on this only, we would be able to progress in our spiritual life. Now, what is Nishkam Karma Yoga? In Nishkam Karma Yoga, a devotee will want to satisfy the Lord without expecting the results. He is not attached to the result. Example, a particular Mataji is serving in the kitchen, temple kitchen, since morning till night, continuously cooking, 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 cooking. She's extremely tired and there is no one to help. Next day, again, the same routine. Third day, again, the same routine. Now, a particular person comes in, cooks some sabji, two, three sabjis for the Lord, and then he goes away. And now, when there is some discussion happening, a particular senior devotee, let's say, praises the second person who just served for some half an hour or 1 hour, right? But he's not mentioning the name of that Mataji who is living and dying in that kitchen, right? Now, if this Mataji is highly spiritual, and if she is following this Nishkam Karma Yoga practice, she would not be attached to the result of it. She would not be wanting, oh, my name was not taken. I have been dying in kitchen in front of the stove in so much of heat. I have been cooking since 3 days without a break, and no one is taking my name. No, she will not even think like this. Why? Because while serving, she is praying to Krishna. She's wanting that Krishna, may you be pleased, may you be pleased, may this activity please you. And if she's constantly meditating, then she will not be getting attached to the result. But this stage is very high. This stage is very high. It's very difficult. It's not that easy. And this is what Krishna is telling in this section 38 to 53. But we will see how it is possible. That also we will see, because Krishna, if he's saying something, he's also giving the way of how to do it, right? So we understood there are two things, Sakam Karma and Nishkam Karma. If you remember in the previous section, when Krishna was saying that if you fight and even if you die in this war, you would go to heaven, right? So here in that section, what Krishna was doing, he was giving the Sakam Karma Yoga thing, right? He was giving the result. Okay, why are you fearful? Even if you die, you would go to heaven, right? And if you win, you would enjoy the kingdom. So there, Krishna is definitely talking about the result. So Krishna was talking on the level of Sakam Karma Yoga in the last section, 31 to 37. And now, when in 38 to 53, Krishna is talking about Nishkam Karma Yoga, where he's giving the tools and techniques of how we should not be attached to the result. Okay, so this is Nishkam Karma Yoga, and all of us should understand it is very much part of Bhakti Yoga. We must understand Nishkam Karma Yoga properly, and we will of course later have a very detailed session on this, where we can also understand more practically and how we can actually do this, so that we should know, because we are trying to follow Bhakti Yoga. So this was a section on Nishkam. This is a section on Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then after Nishkam Karma Yoga comes the Gyan Yoga, Ashtang Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga as in general, which these from these places, right? Gyan Yoga, Ashtang Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, a person is eligible to get liberation. From Gyan Yoga, you can attain Brahman realization, which is merging into the Brahma Jyoti. From Ashtang Yoga, either you can get Brahman realization, which is merging into the Brahma Jyoti, or Paramatma realization. And from here, like from Bhakti Yoga only, you are able to actually go to Bhagwan realization. Unless and until we practice Bhakti Yoga, we will never be able to reach Bhagwan realization. So, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, these are the three aspects of uh, the absolute truth. And these three aspects can be only achieved after Gyan Yoga, because knowledge is important, and after knowledge comes renunciation. So there is one more thing that I would like to add in here. Um, many people say that it is good that you follow the practices of Krishna consciousness, but what is the need to leave things, like, to, if we are following the do's and don'ts, the don'ts are generally like, what are we having the don'ts as? We should not associate with non devotees, we should not eat like the food which is not offered to Krishna. These are the don'ts we should follow to progress nicely in Krishna consciousness, right? So many people get offended that, oh, you're not coming us with us to restaurant, you're not coming for movies, and they generally say that, oh, well, we should not be so much fanatic, right? But then you should understand, if you are actually following the path nicely, renunciation is something which would by default come. Knowledge brings in renunciation. It's not you have to purposefully. It is very difficult for me to leave onion garlic. Oh my God, how would I leave it? How would I leave it? And I'm just leaving because it is said by Krishna, but I cannot leave it actually. It's not like that. If you actually hear the devotees' realizations, they would say, it was easy. It was not that difficult. I would ask you all, whoever has been tried to leave, was it so difficult? It was not that difficult. Why? Because when you hear about Krishna, when you get this transcendental knowledge, by default, as a reciprocation, Krishna gives that renunciation. Okay, what's so much in onion garlic? Fine. What's so much in movies? Fine. Krishna Leela is much more than a movie. So by default, you get attracted to the Lord, because Krishna by default means all attractive, right? So what I was trying to mention through yoga ladder is, as we move ahead the ladder, the knowledge and renunciation also increases, and that is why through knowledge, renunciation, and by the practice of Nishkam Karma Yoga, we are following the path of Bhagwan realization. Okay. So this, do not worry if you are not able to understand the upper portion, because we have not got into the details of it. I would definitely cover this before we start the third chapter. Okay. So, uh, yes, as we were discussing on these things, that this third reason of fear of sinful reactions, this has been defeated in 2.38 to 53. So now let us come to 2.40, and let's start. So, anyone would like to read the shloka and the translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
नेहा विक्रमनाशोऽस्ति
Neha Bhikramanaşosti
प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते
Pratyavayo na vidyate
स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य
Swalpamapi asya dharmasya
त्रायते महतो भयात्.
Trayate mahato bhayat.
Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, this particular verse, if someone can also memorize it, it is very important. As I mentioned, that this is a very hope-giving verse. What Krishna is saying, Neha Bhikramana Shosti Pratyavayo na Vidyate. In this endeavor, which endeavor? In the endeavor of following Bhakti Yoga. What was Krishna saying in 2.39? If we go back quickly, what he's saying, thus far I have declared to you the analytical knowledge of Sankhya philosophy. Now listen to the knowledge of yoga, whereby one works without fruitive result. Right? So this Nishkam Karma Yoga, you're working without fruitive result. O son of Pritha, when you act by such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So from the sin, the sinful reaction which Arjun is fearing, so that is basically the bondage of work, right? That we are doing, the reaction of our activity. So we can free ourselves from the reactions of our activity by following this particular thing, this yoga. What do you mean by yoga? Yoga is not just Ashtanga yoga, which is being broadcasted now, that yoga is basically some asanas, some breathing practices. No, that is Ashtanga Yoga. And that also is not taught in the real way to the whole world. Ashtanga Yoga has yam, niyam, asan, pratyahar. There are many rules and regulations. First of all, there comes rules and regulations. Then they come to asanas. Yam, niyam, right? Do's and don'ts. Then comes asana. So Ashtanga Yoga has 8 things. The first two are yam niyam, which are rules, do's and don'ts. And third is asana. What is happening nowadays? Everyone directly goes to the third one, which is asana. And by default, people are having this conception that yoga means, oh, some asanas, some breathing exercises, and that is yoga. That's not like that. Yoga, in this, the word meaning is to link with the supreme. Okay. Yoga is to link with the supreme. It is as simple as that. Even the Ashtanga yoga practitioner who is actually following the Patanjali practice, they also have this liberation in their mind that by you doing this yoga, we are actually trying to uh, move upper in our realization about the Lord. They are not just doing to stay fit, right? Opposite to the thing which is preached now. So this yoga means to link with the supreme, and Buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means to link our intelligence in to link our intelligence with the supreme, and then doing the activities. So this is important. This is bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga and buddhi yoga is one and the same thing, so you should not get confused in this. So now, here what Krishna is saying, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, right? When we are trying to follow Krishna consciousness, there is no loss or diminution. This is the statement of Krishna. Okay, this is not my statement, this is Krishna's statement. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Little advancement. Even if you have taken the Lord's name in this life, very less, if you could not complete your bhakti practices in this life, still you are not going to deteriorate to the lower species of life. This means um trayate mahato bhayat, right? Can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. What is the most dangerous type of fear? So let's discuss on this, and I want you all to answer. Now, if I say that, okay, by following Krishna consciousness, you will not be going down to the lower species of life, which is from the animal life. Now, you tell me, one by one, you can all raise your hands. What is the benefit of this human life? You need to unmute. Yes, Uma Mataji.
We can go back to Goloka Mataji. We can pray
Yes,
him.
yes. Also, more things. If you can go in details of the benefits of human life,
We can
Jana
speak.
Mataji.
We can think of him.
we
Animals
can
cannot
think
think
of
of
him.
him.
We can gain knowledge about him. Yes, Saurabh
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Mataji, by taking the name of Krishna, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, if you take Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so definitely we will go to Krishna Dham.
Yes. Also, uh, how is it beneficial? Because I'll just give you a hint on what is required on the answer part. How many species are there?
Mataji, 84 lakhs.
84 lakhs. In 84 lakhs, how many are humans?
One Mataji.
No, no. There are 4 lakh type of
Four.
human
Yeah.
species. Yes. And there are many others. We have discussed, right? 20 lakhs of fishes and all that. But I do not remember the classification. I've discussed in the last class, some 2, 3 classes back. So there are many, many. So now let's say one type of species. Just take an ant. That ant is one species. And there are different types of ants. Let's say big ants, red ants, black ants. These are all one type. In that way, there are the human species is very rare, because out of the 4 lakhs, what we are in this earthly planet, that is just one. Okay. Now, then there are so many others. There are Gandharvas, there are heavenly demigods, there are so many different types of human species which we are not. But only this is the station from where we can actually go back to Krishna. Even the demigods in heaven, the Devi Devtas, also have to take birth as a human if they want to go back to Krishna. From their demigod position, they cannot go back to Krishna. And that is why they are lined up to take birth in this movement of Krishna consciousness, because here the parents have that much of spiritual capacity to bear such a pious child. Just imagine, if a demigod wants to take birth in your womb, you must have that capability, right? You must be so pious, you must be so religious. But Also, if you think in terms of Kali Yuga, it is very impossible because Kali Yuga people are very sinful. But because of this Krishna consciousness movement, because of chanting of Hare Krishna that we are doing every day, 16 rounds every day, trying to follow the rules and regulations, trying to serve the devotees, trying to serve the Lord, by this we are gaining so much of spiritual strength that we can even have such pious living entities as our children. And that is why they want to come in this movement, so that they can go back to Godhead in this life. So now that is one thing. But the other thing is, if I go into, let's say, a tree species, and if you see, one tree lives for how many years? A banyan tree lives for hundreds of years. There are banyan trees which have been living for even more than 500 years, right? So if you get into, let's say, if you become a tree, from this life you become a tree, what happens when you become a tree? You would leave, you would waste so many years, because you have to complete that lifetime. After that lifetime, you have to also go into the other species of the tree before you actually get a chance to come back to a human life. So once you degrade from a human form of life, how many lifetimes are gone to again get a human form of life? That is more important to understand, right? Because if I understand that if I waste my this life, I would actually come back to human form of life maybe after hundreds of lifetimes. Hundreds of lifetimes, even if one life we take 100 years. So 100, that means how many? 10 lakh. 10 lakh or more, 1 crore. These many, yeah, these many years, after these many years, Kali Yuga has passed, I would come back as a human form. Now, with right now, you can see how much the Kali Yuga has progressed, how much Kali Yuga is actually causing issues. There are so many wars, there are so many diseases, there is so much hypocrisy and quarrel that is growing in Kali Yuga. After 1 lakh years, what would be the case? Would it be very bad? It would be very much degraded, even degraded, much degraded than now. How difficult it would be to practice after 1 lakh of years, right? When we actually analyze these statements, then we understand the importance of human form of life, right? And by the grace of Prabhupada, we have got the highest philosophy so easily in English language, in so many different kinds of books that Prabhupada has given. There are so many, this ISKCON institution that Prabhupada has opened up for us to give us association of devotees. Because of this, we have become fortunate to understand the highest goal of life and to also practice it. So now the biggest benediction that we have got is that because of this, we will not go back to the animal species. Even if we are not able to complete our bhakti, we are going to get a human form of life, right? Now my question to you, uh, also this means, one more thing also, what it means is, let's say we must have done something related to Krishna consciousness in our last life, bec- because of which in this life we could actually take to Krishna consciousness very easily. Because unless and until here we are seeing that there is no loss or diminution, right? So definitely, because of some spiritual advancement we have done in the last life, in this life we are able to take to Krishna consciousness. We are attracted to the chanting, we are attracted to devotees. If the devotee comes, please come Mataji for the class, we are like, yes, yes, I will come. There are so many people who would say, oh, who is going to come? I have party, I have my office things. There are so many other commitments, right, that people would have. But still, if we are having that tinge of attachment of hearing Krishna Katha, that means probably something which we might have done in our last life. But what it also means is, in the last life, even if I have done 1% or 10%, I did not complete it. I failed in my exam, which is remembering Krishna at the time of death. Because I failed in my last exam, I have taken this birth again. So, should I be happy that Krishna is going to give me human life again and I can complete my bhakti in the next life also? No problem if I can leave it at 50% now. What's the issue, right? This we should not
Uh-huh.
think.
Uh-huh.
Right? This we should not think, because if we lose this opportunity in this life, again, again, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, ghatave shayanam, right? Again we have to suffer in the womb of a mother. Again, we have to suffer the sufferings of Kali Yuga. Again, the same thing would happen, chewing the chewed. But in this life, an intelligent person, what intelligent person does is he understands that by becoming intense in my spiritual practice in this life itself, I I can go back to Krishna in this life. If my goal is fixed, let's say if a goal is fixed, why to delay achieving that goal even by one more lifetime, right? This is what an intelligent person would think. This is what an intelligent devotee would think, right? It's like if in this human form of life, if I'm not utilizing it to go back to Krishna, it's like riding a Mercedes to plow a field, right? You would say, are you mad? You're having crores of rupees, you're buying Mercedes, and then you're using it to plow a field. Are you mad? This is what we are doing actually. We are acting like crazy by not sincerely following the spiritual practices, not waking up early. Devotees are telling, please chant in the Brahma Muhurat, please get up early, please chant 16 rounds. And we are like, Prabhuji, Mataji, I'm in such a hectic schedule. I do not have time. I'm very difficult to for me to get up. Right. So this is we are trying to give reasons of why we are not becoming sincere in spiritual practice. But then understand the result. Again, you would fail in your this exam, right? So this is important. So yes, that is what I'm saying, that anyhow we are in this win-win situation, but if our goal is fixed, we must not delay. And we must endeavor every single day to um to like move ahead in the spiritual practices and move ahead in bhakti. So quickly we can also go through the purport. If someone of you would want to read. Yes, if someone would like to read, Shruti Mataji.
Um, yeah. Activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas
Right.
in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit.
Okay,
Ajamila
yes.
performed his
Mataji, you can break
yeah,
just 1 minute. So basically, we can discuss on this point. So if we talk about material activities, what happens in material activity? If you are been given a task, let's say you have to perform some activity in your office, and if you're not able to do it, let's say you tried but you were not able to complete it, right? You tried to make a very nice presentation to impress the client. You wanted to have a very nice demo with them, but then something went wrong and they were not happy, and then they rejected the deal. Now what happened? You spent weeks and weeks of your time, you spent day and night of your time in making that presentation go good, but due to some circumstances it was not a success. Now the whole effort becomes zero in material life. Everything that you are doing in material activity, if that is not successful, it becomes a total zero. But what happens in spiritual life is totally opposite. Even if you try to do 1%, that 1% is going to get donated in your spiritual bank account. Now the spiritual bank account is not going to diminish with this life. It is always going to get carried to your next life. So let's say in our last life we performed bhakti 10%, from this life we will start from the 11%. Okay, it's not like again i would uh, I would just forget everything. One thing that His Grace Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji says is, and I would just like to repeat it. What he says is, whatever we are doing day in and day out, and we are struggling very, very badly to earn money and to fulfill our bodily needs, and everything is going to be taken away at death, right? Just imagine the level of injustice this is, because you have struggled like anything your whole life to get some money, to get some bodily comforts, to get some satisfaction, some sense gratification. And anyhow, you were not able to get satisfied, and you were trying, trying, and trying. And at the end of it, everything is taken away. Now, we do not think this as injustice. Why? Because it happens with everyone. When it happens with us, let's say you tried and some other person cheated you and took away all your money, then you lodge a complaint against him, you lodge an FIR, and then I have this has been this is wrong, this is injustice, I have been cheated, my money has been taken away. So many things you would do. Just because it has happened with you, it has not happened with anyone else. But death is the biggest injustice, but because it is happening with everyone, we take it very lightly. It's like, oh, that's not an injustice, ye to hona hi hai. That's part of life, right? This is what we think about death. But just understand, you have been doing so many things, but everything becomes zero. But now, when we are actually putting even 1% of our activity, and it is taken to our next life also, it is not going back, it is not becoming zero. How much Krishna is merciful on us. When someone says that Krishna Bhagwan bahut kripalu hai, the Lord is very merciful, we do not understand. But when we read such things, then we understand how much merciful he is. He really wants us to come back to him. It is us who do not want to, but he wants us to come back. So he's making provisions that, oh, you do this bhakti yoga, and then you would be able to, if not one life, maybe 100 lives. But then once you are on the path of bhakti yoga, you will definitely go back to Krishna. On our sincerity, it will either quicken the process or it would delay the process. But the goal is going to get achieved. So, this is a very good verse for us, which gives us encouragement, which gives us motivation that we are on the right path. And congratulations, you are fortunate. But then we also have to understand that it is not easy. It is not so simple, right? And it is not like we will just get it automatically. There are many devotees who have this concept that we are following four regulative principles na, automatically we will get Krishna prem. So automatically nothing would happen. We have to endeavor, we have to desire. Krishna, I am yours. Krishna, please accept me. Krishna, I'm sorry for whatever I have done. Please make me remember you. Please make me chant your name sincerely. Please make me wake up every day in the morning and chant 16 rounds. This is a very important prayer. What happens is, in the matter of doing our spiritual duties, we forget to connect with Krishna. And when we not connect with Krishna, we are not able to make sufficient spiritual progress. And then what happens is, after 10 years of spiritual practice, people say, Mataji, we have been chanting for 10 years and there is no growth. There is nothing, there is no spiritual advancement. Why? Because the sincere chanting is missing. The sincere hearing, sincere service is missing. It is happening externally, it is not happening internally. Right? So this is more into the depth of this particular verse. Yes, Manaji, you can go ahead.
Ajamila performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100% by the grace of Lord. There is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tyakva swadharmam dharmam charanam
Charanam Bhujam Harir.
bhujam hare bhajanna papota pate tato yadi yatra kwa vabhadram abhut amushya kim ko vata apto bhajatam swa dharmatah. If someone gives up self-gratificatory pursuits and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or as the Christians say, what profiteth a
What
man
profit?
if he what profit a man if he gain the whole world yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul?
Yes. Just a minute, Mataji.
Material, yeah.
So here it is very important that what profit a man if he gain the whole world yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul. So if we are engaged in our material endeavors so much that we do not do not cater to the duties of our soul. Duty of the soul is what? Sub- Most important is hearing, chanting, reading, right? These are very basic. These are very basic, but these are very important, which should be done every day. Through this, what we are doing, we are feeding the soul. We are when a person actually suffers, you would have seen, right? If a celebrity comes in, people go crazy. I want to take selfie with this person and that person. But if you see a very spiritually advanced person, they are able to see the suffering. Once a very big actress came to ISKCON Chowpatty, and at that point of time, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was also there. So what happened was that she came in, paid obeisances. Maharaj gave a gift of Radha Gopinath, and then after some discussion, she left. And immediately, just like that, Maharaj said how much she's suffering. Right? Everyone thinks, when you what happens when you see a celebrity, you think, oh my god, a celebrity, he must be earning so much, he must be having so many servants, he must be having this, that. By default, you have a back end thought that this person is very happy. Why? This person is very successful. Why? Because he's in that position of enjoyer, of controller. But a saintly person can see that everyone is suffering, and these people are suffering more, much more than us, because of their particular profession, they are so much into showing themselves in a particular image that the image becomes their lifestyle. They can never be genuine, right? And that is why they are suffering much more than us. Their soul is suffering much more than us, because their soul is gone in the total back end. It has not been even considered, right? So that is why these material things makes us so much, and it actually causes frustration and anxieties. They are suffering in external terms also. It might not be visible to us because that is not shown, but they are very much in misery. So yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Material activities and their results end with the body, but work in Krishna consciousness carries the person again to Krishna consciousness, even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness.
Yes. So, this is what we were discussing till now, right? That whatever we are doing in the next life, how Krishna is helping us, that either we will get birth in in a cultured Brahmin family, or in a rich aristocratic family. Generally, what people also say is, I in a family of devotees. So if we get birth in a family of a devotee, just understand, from the point of conception, the mother is already a devotee. She is already hearing Krishna Katha. She is already associating with devotees. From the point of conception, that soul is getting bhakti. So how big this is a fortune. I heard one particular person, uh, you can see this very easily. The Krishna conscious children, if you just observe the children of sincere devotees. I'm saying sincere devotees because this is very important. People who are actually very sincere, if you see their children, they are they are having natural attraction to Krishna. Natural, total natural attraction to Krishna. I know a particular child whose name is Vraj Tilak. He's just 2 years old, and 2 years old child forces his father and grandfather, I want to go to Guru Puja. He is like, I want to go to Guru Puja. If you do not take me, he'll start crying, he'll start making tantrums. But why he's making tantrums? He wants to go to Guru Puja. Just imagine the level of attraction that child is having for Guru Puja. If he goes to any devotee's house, he takes away their Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. He's attracted to Jagannath Baldev Subhadra so much. And when he takes a small Rath Yatra for his society children, 2 year old child, 2 year old. That 2 year old child takes a small Rath Yatra in his own society, and he's asking everyone, pay Dandavat to Jagannath, please pay obeisances, Hare Krishna. He's chanting. When his father is chanting, he's also chanting. Just understand, 2 year old child. How can he have so much attraction for Krishna? It is very certain they are already devotees. They have done a lot of spiritual advancement in their last life, and in this life they just want to complete it. We want such children to to take the mission of Srila Prabhupada ahead. This mission of Srila Prabhupada is going to go for 10,000 years. Who is going to take it? We are responsible. If we become sincere, then the next generation would become devotees, right? We will also become devotees. Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji asked very nice question to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He asked, Maharaj, if I spend 25 years of my time in taking care of my children, and let's say that child doesn't become a devotee, he becomes a materialistic person, then what will happen? My 25 years are wasted. What will I do? So Maharaj takes a pause and Maharaj says, if you sincerely do your sadhana, and if you sincerely give bhakti to your child while taking care of his other facilities, as well as not facilities in the terms of material but spiritual, and taking care of the child's spiritual advancement, even if that child doesn't become a devotee, you will definitely become a devotee. Hari Bol. How? Because you would be totally realize that okay, nothing is in my hand. Krishna is the ultimate controller. Krishna, I'm yours. Please take me. You would be totally detached, totally detached. But how this is happening? This is happening by our sincere efforts. It is not automatic. Again and again, I'm saying this is not automatic. We have to desire. We have to desire to love Krishna. We have to desire to please Krishna. We have to desire to please the Vaishnavas. Okay? Yes, moving ahead. Right, so this is how, yes, we have already covered this, right? This is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. We were discussing on how those, how our bhakti would be carried on. Let's say even if if we are not able to complete, how it would be carried on to the next life, and which is also very evident by seeing the children, right? So this philosophy that Krishna is speaking, it's not something bogus, it's not something, it's very normal, right? If I ask you the question, why someone is born rich, why someone is born poor, why someone is born with diseases, why someone is born in a tribal family, while other is born in a very big cultured Brahmin family, how is it possible that everyone is having a different birth? It's very evident, right? It is based on our activities in the past life. And this is the same thing that Krishna is saying. Whatever activities, spiritual activities that you're doing, it is going to give you very nice results, right? So this is the whole thing of 2.40. If you can memorize this shloka on and remember it, it would be nice. Okay, let's move ahead to 2.41. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. So I guess it took a lot of time to discuss this one shloka. I hope I did not bore you all. Sorry. Yes, Kripa Pai Mataji, I can see you have a question.
No, Mataji, not for question, Mataji. I want explain it very nicely. I wanted to read the sloka. That's why only I raised.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes. So if everyone wants to continue, we can, or else 2.41 is as important as 2.40 actually. Even if we start, we won't be able to complete it. So we
Okay,
can take
Mataji. Nice.
2.41 in the next class. Yes,
Yes, Mataji.
Rajalakshmi Mataji, you have a question?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Nishkam karma and akarma both are same.
Yes, Mataji. Akarma, Vikarma, and one more. Karma, akarma, vikarma. So
Karma.
karma is normal activities that we are doing. Vikarma is bad activities
Okay.
basically, which is giving us very bad sinful reactions.
Yes.
And akarma is the activity in Krishna consciousness. The activity in Krishna consciousness has to be performed in the spirit of Nishkam Karma Yoga. So it is very much related.
Mataji, can I ask one question
Yes,
from
Mataji.
other chapter? Mataji, what is Mahat Tattva? How to define it?
Mahat Tattva. So for that we have to understand the creation, Mataji. Let me show you some photo. Just a second. I would have to search it quickly.
24 elements.
Yes, it's not exactly. Just a second. Okay, so what happens is Mahavishnu is the one who is taking the desire of, like, the living entities want to be enjoyed separately from Krishna. We are initially in the Vaikuntha planets, which are here. Okay, in this lotus there are Vaikuntha planets, innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and we have Golok Vrindavan as well. From there, we, because we want to enjoy separately from Krishna, by because of our desire, Krishna creates this material world. How this material world is created, this desire has been taken by Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu actually glances on the material energy, right? He glances on Rama Devi, and through Rama Devi, the desire is carried to the material energy, and the material energy then actually, then from the pores of the body of Mahavishnu comes the different universes. Okay, and in these, each of these universes there is Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So now what is Mahat Tattva? Initially there is Pradhan are all the elements are there in their unmanifested state. Okay,
Unmanifested.
these elements are not active, but
Mm.
how they become active, when Mahavishnu is glancing on Rama Devi and he's giving the desire of creating the material world, through that the Mahat Tattva, the Pradhan becomes Mahat Tattva, which is manifested material elements.
Yeah.
What is manifested material elements? Then because of those elements, like there are 24 elements, so earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then there are senses, and I do not remember exactly because I learned cosmology very long back. I
Oh.
have to revise again. But through Mahat Tattva, then there are different modes created, there are different there are senses created, there are so many things which is created. There is creation in goodness, creation in passion, creation in ignorance. So multiple creation happens, but all of that, how it is happening? Just by that one desire of
Mm.
ours to separately enjoy from Krishna. Then we are coming to this material world. So Mahat Tattva is basically manifested material elements, Mataji.
Manifested. Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you,
Hare,
Mataji. Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji. I want
Yes, ma'am.
one question, Mataji. Mataji, the Rama Devi is Mahalakshmi, no, Mataji, or Parvati?
No, Rama Devi is Mahalakshmi, you can say. But basically, Mahavishnu will interact with his consort. His consort is Lakshmi. So the internal potency, the Vishnu Tattva will always interact with his internal potency. And
Okay.
the internal potency is transferring the desire to the external potency. So from from either Mahalakshmi or like Rama Devi, it is going to Durga Devi. Okay.
Mataji, another question, no? You told our activities, our position now is due to the last karmas we are doing, no? But you told one small boy at the age of 2, he has got all the this thing. But for myself, myself, I was born in a Hindu family and this thing, but my mother used to tell, go to temple and all, no? That time and all, we didn't know at the young age. At this, after the age of 40 only, little we went to temple and all now. Then only I got initiated recently, Mataji, at
Hare
Vamana
Krishna.
Jayanti. And then that only late only, then I'm feeling why I should have got this before before, no, at the age of 20 or at the age of
No,
15.
Mataji,
Uh,
even
That's
at
only
this
I'm worried,
age,
Mataji. Huh?
Mataji, even at this age, let's say if you have got introduced to Krishna consciousness so late, but then if you have become sincere and if you have got initiated and if you're still trying hard, you're trying to make it perfect in this life only, right? So
Yes,
that this is
Mataji.
the desire that is needed. This is the
I
desire.
don't want again to be into a worm of a Mataji. I want to go
Haribol.
to Moloka. That's the only
Mataji, I want to
I'm
ask your
earnestly
blessings. I want to
I'm
ask your blessings
earnestly
because even if when I am giving class, even I want to make this desire strong, and I can see that desire so strong in you, and I want to take your blessings, Mataji. Haribol.
Krishna's shower blessings on you abundantly,
Haribol.
Mataji, abundantly. Thank you, Mataji. That's the only I'm earnestly praying God. I want to always be thinking of you, always be thinking, always be doing like that only, Mataji.
Hari,
Thank you,
Hari, Hari,
Mataji.
Hari, Hari. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Mataji. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else having any questions? Okay. So
Mataji.
I yes, Raj Lakshmi Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare
I
Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, we do chant, we do read, learn everything, but we don't remember all the things what we have learned or what we have read or what we have listened. So that is the main problem for me. So what to do, I don't know, Mataji.
Mataji, we have to understand it's not just about let's say there are two things. Um it is good to remember, but we also have to understand that it's a matter of age. Let's say
Yes,
if
Mataji.
even if I become a scholar, if I chant Sanskrit verses just like fluently, but there is the effect of age, there is the effect of Kali Yuga, which is also acting, right? Any capability that we have, it is going to be taken away very soon. It's just a matter of time. So we should not be worried about how much I am able to read or remember, but we should be worried about how much we are able to inculcate in our practical life.
Yes,
Let's
Mataji.
say, let just we saw the example of Kripa Mai Mataji, that she's urgently having this desire that I just want to go back to Krishna and I do not want to
Yes,
take birth again in this material world. This desire in itself is very important. Once the desire comes in, then comes the process. So you all of you are already having that desire. That is why you are trying to hear more about Krishna. That is why you are trying to understand the philosophy of Krishna. The one thing that would really help us is praying a lot.
yes,
This I
Mataji.
have also seen personally, and I've also heard from His Grace Vrajbihari Prabhuji. He says that in a day we should have at least once a time when we got a connection with Krishna, right? It can be a very small kirtan, it can be just a prayer. If you are just wanting to feel a connection with Krishna, and if you just write a let's say a journal, if you just start writing, Hare Krishna, oh my Lord, I really want to serve you, whatever you are feeling, right? I'm having so and so difficulty. I'm trying to do this. I'm not sure whether I'm doing right or wrong. Please guide me, O Lord. I'm yours. I want to serve you. I want to serve your devotees. So, in that way, if you're not able to speak, you can write it down. If you're uh, if you are just not feeling how to write or how to pray, you can pray the prayers of Bhakti Vinod Thakur by reciting his kirtans, right? The acharyas have written such nice bhajans. So by reciting the Vaishnav songs, we are actually showing our love towards the Guru Parampara. So already, first of all, I would like to say, even while answering, I know I am less qualified than you in this particular thing, because you all are already much advanced than me in Krishna consciousness. So you already must be doing all these things. But this is what I've heard, that remembering, okay, we should remember because it is important for contemplation, but it's not like we should remember each and everything. If we understand the essence, if we understand the crux, and if we start to get love for Krishna, then that is the actual conclusion.
One thing, Mataji, whatever I read, whatever I listen, whatever I do, I feel that I have heard once. I have heard once. So that is there in my mind, but I can't repeat it. Okay. And what I pray him is I don't ask anything from him. I just say, you be with me. Or let what anything happen to me. You be with me. That's
Yes.
enough for me. That's the
Yes,
only
Mataji.
prayer I have, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, that is the most important thing. What will scholarship do at the time of death?
Yes, Mataji. You be with me.
Yes, if the
Let
Lord
me chant
remembers
your
us and
name.
if we are able to remember the
Yes.
Lord, then what else is needed?
Yes. So anayasena maranam, vinadayena jivanam, daivapada sayujyam. So this is the prayer I have for him.
Wow, Hari Bol. Mataji, you can please send it to me.
Okay, Mataji.
Hari Hari.
You be with me always. Give your name with my last breath. That's what it's the only prayer for me. I'm praying for him.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
sharing.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Umadevi Mataji, was it Anayasena Marnam Vinadainena Jinam? That is it
I
that
have said,
shloka?
yes, Mataji. I will send it, Mataji, in the group. I will put it
Oh,
in
okay,
the.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, we have a question in the chat. Hare Krishna, is it not possible to go to spiritual home from the higher planetary systems? Does only human form on the earth qualify for going back to? Yes, only earth, Prabhuji. That is why this is the station. It's like the ground floor of a building. If we are actually going to the lower planets, let's say Patal, the lower planets, then we are going underground. If we want to go to Goloka, then also like the whole point comes from this human form of life, this ground floor. From ground floor, once you enter the building, then either you can go up or you can go down. But anyhow, this ground floor is important, right? So, or maybe this is not a right example. But yes, this is what is stated, that human form of life. This is the station from where you can go to either higher planets or the lower planets, or even back to Krishna. But this life is important, because the if you see other lives, let's say a dog does not have a particular. He's not having an ichha shakti, right? Uh, when we by our pious deeds, if we go to heaven, we are entitled to a particular credit. Till that credit is there, we would be able to enjoy in heaven. Once that credit is over, we fall back to earth. So from at that point of time, there is so much of enjoyment, there is so much facilities, there are so much of sense gratification in the heaven, that we are so much into enjoyment that there is no thought of Krishna consciousness. There is no thought of serving the Lord. The demigods, as part of their duty, they go to Shirodaksha Vishnu when they are in trouble. Let's say the demigods are trouble because of the demons, and the demigods feel that their position is in danger. Then they go to Shirodaksha Vishnu, Lord, please save us, please save us. So in a sense, they are devotees because they are going to Lord Vishnu, but then they are not pure devotees. They are attached to their position. Hari bol. Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you so much for amazing
Thank
discussion.
you, Mataji.
I
Hari
am
bol.
I am sincerely praying at your lotus feet, and I'm really sincerely trying to pray at your lotus feet, that I'm saying big things as part of my duty to give the class and to make you understand the purport in the right attitude, in the right service, in the right manner, and in the right consciousness. But by saying these big things, it's not like that I'm following. And I really want to take the blessings of all you Vaishnavas, so that whatever I'm saying, even I am trying to imbibe them in my personal life, and even I want to get the love of Krishna, which I have not got. So I'm very sorry if any one of you is offended by any of my statement, and if you are any way happy, if this explanation has any way helped you to have more faith in Krishna, then it is all by the mercy of my Gurudev. So thank you so much for giving me this chance to glorify the Lord, to glorify the devotees, and to glorify Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I am sincerely praying at your lotus feet to please have your blessings on me. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, भगवद गीता की जय. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Pranams.
Hare
Hare
Saurabh
Krishna.
Prabhuji, you have something? Sorry, after I saw your hand.
Mataji, I just wanted to add, like some Mataji told na that in early age, if we start Krishna consciousness and all. So I just wanted, like at any age, like if we have become little older, so we can handle it better. Like even if in office we are doing, we don't fear. We know Krishna is there, so there is no
Yes,
fear of that. And lot of responsibilities already, like if kids are elder and all, so we can devote much more time. So
right,
since
right, right.
morning 4 we can start, and then Bhagavatam in the evening and all everything. So we are much more basically mature to do Krishna consciousness in better way.
Yes, yes, that can also be taken. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for
It
sharing.
is all His mercy, Prabhuji. He knows when to give us, what to give, when to give, why to give, everything. He is the full. Is it not, Mataji? He knows
Yes, yes,
when to give us. Yes.
yes, Mataji. Lord will protect us.
Yes, yes,
Rakshisyati ati vishwaso. We have to
yes,
trust him. We have to have total faith that he is our protector,
yes,
and
yes,
he will
sure.
help us. Hari
Yes,
bol.
sure.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank